It's cake time, guys. This is our cake for the day. So today we're not doing any DIYs. Today tuna kula keki. So guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. Karibu tena, asante sana. Feel at home and hope you enjoy this. So guys, today we're going to be making a lemon cake, and as I tell you a story of how I got into baking. So we already have ingredients there. So this is how I got into baking. So growing up, my mom was the community baker. So I remember every weekend we had some pieces of cake to eat because she was having wedding orders like every other weekend. So we usually had okay, basically when the cake is ready, they form a dome shape, so you have to level it up so that it's easier for you to ice it. And those were the pieces that we used to enjoy and look forward to eating, my siblings and I. So um when we were younger, she back then there was no these new icing stroke frosting methods. There's only royal icing. With royal icing, what happens is that you use egg whites and icing sugar, and it's a very good form of icing because sorry, of frosting, because it's makes it dries up very quickly and it hardens out, and it is easier to do designs like maybe you're trying to write the names and all that. It's pretty good at that. So whenever she did that and she had frosting left, um, my siblings and I would, each of us would get us a kasosa, kaside plate yani, and she would pipe these to tiny things, kind of designs, and everybody, kila mtu alikuwa na sosa ya rangi yake. So you'd get somebody with like a flower sauce so that in the morning you're not confusing. Your sauce yako ni yako, my friend. Jipange nayo. So when these should pipe tiny things on the sauces, and then when we wake up in the morning, they're already dry, and it was kind of like having sweets and candies because they were sweet and hard. So well, it was like a nice feeling though. So that's I think that's where my interest for baking came. And as I was during my campus years, because I was a part-time student, when she was baking, we would bake with her, and anipatia the last part of writing the names and all that, and the frosting part. So I would kind of practice with that. So I picked up that passion when I was in campus. So there's this time I tried baking. I had already googled a recipe and I was going to use it. So I came, okay, when I was in campus, I used to do part-time studies. So I would go to school from Friday, 5 p.m. till around 8. Saturday, I'm in class, and Sundays from morning till around 4, 5, I'm in class. So during the weekdays, I used to get gigs like jobs. I'd work in some office somewhere or a cyber, vitu kama hizo. So I had some money of my own. So this time I came home from work and I decided I wanted to bake. So I'm busy following my recipe. Then my mom finds me at the middle of baking. Says when nimeanza kutengeneza using the recipe I was following. She's like, no, 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 no. Si hivyo. Acha nikuonyeshe. So I had to do what she's used to. Basically, with bakers, there's some who are going to do start with there are different methods. You can start with the wet ingredients, or you just put the dry ingredients, then you pour in the wet ingredients. So for me, I was for the wet ingredients first, then the method that I do right now anyway. So for her, it was the other way around. So that day, Ilisha to Evo, we did her way, and the cake turned out good, but I was not satisfied because that's not how I wanted to do it. So the next time I tried baking, my best friend and I, her name is Joy. She was my classmate, and we became friends till now, grown ups and all. So that time we decided we were going to do this at a time when mom was not going to be coming home anytime soon. So she was also, so we decided to, I left work early and we bought everything. Tulinunanga ingredients zetu si wenyewe. So we bought the unga, the eggs, the milk, everything. And we had a recipe. So we used the jiko method, the mawe tatu method. So the reason I started we bought the ingredients, I was afraid that we will try the recipe of Google, then it's going to backfire, then it's going to be a loss on my mom's pantry because tumetumia vitu zake and we don't have a cake to show for it. So we bought everything that we needed and we went home. And that day we followed the whole recipe vizuri sana, and then we had our jiko, the jiko, we lit the jiko, and we were afraid of even taking it to the kitchen. So tulieka for sitting room and sat down and watched the cake because we were afraid of putting it in the kitchen, forgetting tukiona to move it to hapo, and then our cake was going to burn. So we were very skeptical of that. So we kept it at the sitting room and we watched it cook for like 1 hour plus. Because at that point you don't know even you don't know how to time it. You don't know the rules around using the jiko as baking, as you're baking with it. Kuna ile yenye you need to keep on regulating the heat. Unafungua kamlango ka jiko, unafunga, stuff like that. So we did not know all that. But all in all, our cake turned out very nice. It was excellent, and that was the first time I felt like I've accomplished something in baking. So after that, I picked up baking again. COVID season in 2020. That's when I picked up baking, and I decided to do it as kind of a part-time stroke, now full-time professional thing with clients and all that. So basically, I can say I have self-taught stroke YouTube taught myself how to bake, but when it comes to the frosting and decorating part, I had to, okay, some of them, the major one, that like using the add ice in the fondant part, I had to consult somebody to help me out and to teach me how to make it, because you can make your own fondant and you can buy it. That time I like challenging myself, so I felt like I needed to really learn how to make it, just in case I can't, it's an emergency, I can't buy the fondant. So yeah, so I had somebody teach me that, and I think over the years I've learned a few tricks here and there, and so far the journey has been awesome. So yeah, and this is how you know if your batter is okay. I was told by a friend of mine who is also a baker that you draw a number 8. If your batter is consistent in drawing that number 8, you're okay, and you don't want to overmix your batter. So yeah, so for now our batter is very excellent, and we can proceed to bake. So that is my story of how I've gotten into baking. Right now I have a page on Instagram. It's called amcakes.ke, and I do take orders, birthday cakes, rashes, mainly birthday cakes. I love dealing with Zawatoto because of how creative and versatile they can be, because for kids there is a whole um, part whereby they want cartoons, so yeah, I love doing that. So yeah, you can go check out my page and place an order. So as you can see, our cake batter is ready, and now we can proceed to bake. So this is the tin that I'm going to be using. I don't have parchment papers right now, so I've dusted my baking tin with unga. So you kind of just apply oil or margarine at the bottom, alafu unarusha unga ndani. You dust all around so that your cake does not stick to the pan. So if you don't have parchment paper, you can do that as well. It works very nicely, and your cake will be awesome when you're. So for all those who are this pan is a 1 kg tin. So I usually measure my batter so that I'm sure the client sijamgonga, hata mimi sijajigonga, but usually mine usually will go a bit over, kwa sababu if you make it the 1000 grams exact and you're going to dome, and it's going to dome, sorry, and you'll have to trim it up upon umegonga client. So yeah, so I usually measure it, and basically baking is a math. You need to calculate the weight and the whatever, basically like it lazima ingiane. So yeah, as you can see, our batter is okay, and now put it in our makeshift oven. So for our makeshift oven, this is it. This is mawe tatu. So basically the concept is that the pan with the batter is going to be lifted and create kind of an oven, makeshift oven, so that the hot air is circulating all around. So you're going to cover it with an extra large tin so that the air can get to the top and the bottom, all that. So yeah, we're ready to bake. So as we wait for the cake to bake, we're going to make our whipped cream. So we're going to use the powder. This is the powder from Paratos. I'm sorry if I'm nimemada hiyo jina, but yeah, sorry. This is a powder from whipped cream. So basically, you mix that with either water or milk. The ratio is 1:2. So I'm going to use my half a cup measuring cup. I'm going to use 1 of the powder and 2 of the water, and then I'm going to add some icing sugar, just to add a little bit of sugar to it. And this is chilled water. It's when you're mixing it, you need to use some chilled water. So yeah, let's start with that, and you'll see how it turns out. So for this I'm going to use my hand mixer because it's very hard to kutumia whisk like the one I was using when making the batter. You need to use the hand mixer. It's going to make your work easier, and mixing these takes a bit of time because you have to get it to a soft peak. So yeah, if you want to get into baking, kindly consider investing in this. Itaku save sana. So not forgetting to check on our cake. So I decided to put the hot core on top. This will help make the cake bake evenly. Kwanza hapo juu kuna venye inaweza kataa kuiva vizuri. As you can see, our whipped cream is almost done. We are almost getting to the soft peak part of it. By soft peak I mean unafaa kuinua hiyo your unmix and your whipped cream is not falling down, as in a collapse. Yeah, see, something like that. It's not collapsing, so you're almost there. So yeah, for this one I was told okay, I did my research and found out that you need, before you use it on your cake, you need to put it in the fridge for like 30 minutes to 1 hour. It's going to work better if you do that. Yeah, so yeah, I'll put it in the fridge now, and this is our cake. It's ready. As you can see, our skewer is clean, which means imeiva katikati vizuri sana and it's not burnt. So you let it stay kidogo, then you remove it from the baking tin. If you remove it kama haijapoa kabisa, you're not supposed to wait for it to cool completely. You just let it be warm. If you remove it from the tin ikiwa hot, it's going to break and fall apart. So you have to remove it when it's warm, not cold and not hot. Yes, so now we are ready to frost it. So I already did the trimming for the kadum that was there. This is mango puree. Mango puree I made, it's just a mango. I just cut up a mango and blended it with very little water so that it doesn't become liquidy. That consistency is okay, ndio isiende kumwagika. So if it would have gotten thicker the better, but this is still okay. So you just use a little bit of water and blend it and make it thick. So now we can frost our cake. So I'm going to cut my cake into two so that I can be able to put the mango puree at the center. The mango puree is more of a filling. You can use any other filling. You can use sprinkles, coconut, chocolate, whole fruits like pineapples. You just play around with it. Yeah, so I'm dividing my cake into two so that I can have a layer. So the trick of cutting the cake is that you stagnate your hand, usisongeshe mkono. If you move your hand, you're going to have an even cake. Itakaa ni kama imekatwa na zigzag. Then now we can proceed to frost it. Yeah. Yeah, for this now I'm trying to kind of make a hole, like a depression, where I can put the mango puree and not have it spill over, so that the whipped cream is on the outside and the mango puree is at the center such that it will not flow outside unintentionally. Yes, so I'm going to have it at the center there and cover it up. Sorry, and cover it up with the other piece of the cake. So for this cake, I'm going for a semi-nude kind of look. Semi-nude, you don't put a lot of frosting on the outside. As in, from afar you can see the cake itself. So there are a few steps I've skipped because if it was a cake for a client, for the sake of a smooth look, I would have what do I call it? Can I call it grated? I think so that you can get the hard parts out, so that you have a very soft cake. But because this is just for family consumption na venye wanapenda keki, I'm not really ready to go through all that for now. But yeah, sorry. So it's a semi-nude look, so you're going to be able to see the cake, the brown color of the cake from afar. Yes, so at this point I'm just evening out and smoothing out the cake sides, but it's almost ready. Yeah. So learning how to get a smooth look on a cake can really take time. It takes a lot of practice and patience because you have to get a firm, and there's a trick that you learn when you're frosting cakes and getting the smooth look. It really takes a lot of hard work, and I have to say, well, because sometimes they go through a lot when getting us these awesome looking cakes. So I'm trying to make drips. I'm still using the mango puree on top because one, it's a lemon cake and the lemon zest are going to be a bit bitter and sour, so I decided to use the lemon because it's going to bring the sweetness and balance the sour and the sweet. So if I had an orange, I would have used it because it's kind of in the same family with the lemon, but I did not have the orange in the house, so I went with what I had. So I'm making the drips with the mango puree. Then I'm going to put the mango puree on top as well. There are two methods to doing this. One, you can do the drips first, or two, you you cover the top with the mango puree and do a little bit of excess, then you let the drips form themselves. but I love being in control of where the drips start and where they end. That's why I decided to start with the drips first, then finish up with the covering on top. And our cake is done, so you can either decide to leave it like this or draw some roses on top or whatever you want to add. But for me, mnanijua kama kawaida, this is coconut, and we are doing this because I love coconut. I don't know why. If kupanda mti kwangu, but it's okay. So I'm just putting coconut on top. You can use sprinkles, you can use fresh fruits and all, cut them all and put them inside on top there. But yeah, our cake is done and we are going to enjoy a slice. Hatuwezi acha keki ilale kwa nyumba hivyo, it's not happening. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you loved making the cake from start to finish, and I hope to have some of you try it out and let me know how it comes out and how sweet it's going to be. Kindly share results with us if you want to. And this is the inside of our cake. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and thank you so much. Love you guys. Hope to see you in our next video. Thank you. And